I think weather and climate, just be prepared to get wet because it's so humid there, and it rains almost every day. I think if someone looked it up for me, a member looked it up, and if it rained every day, just as an average, you would have an hour and a half of rain every day if it was spread out through the whole year. So you get kind of wet. I wasn't expecting that. And so I remember that I was biking in a place called Dordrecht. It's in the middle of the Netherlands, and probably South Holland is what you'd consider it if you're looking on a map. But I remember biking, and we had to go from a member's house up and over the huge bridge over the river to the place where we lived, because we lived on the other side of the river. And we'd just bike to the city every day. And it wasn't a long bike ride, but that night it felt really long because my companion and I were wearing ponchos, and she had one that could hook over your bike handles. And that was awesome because then it didn't fall into your lap, and your skirt is like a big bag that just collects all this puddle of water, or all these puddles of water. And so I remember biking, and it was dark, and it was windy, and I think it was November, and it would just get cold. And I remember when we got home, it took 20 minutes just to change our clothes and hang everything up anywhere we could find it, in the bathroom, over our bed, over the door, anywhere, just because we were so wet. And I think if our skin was a layer of clothing, it would have soaked that too. But it was just, it sounds miserable, but it was really fun because you have those really dark, rainy days. But then also in the summertime, I remember when the tulips start to bloom and when the flowers start to bloom, and those huge fields of flowers, they just look like God painted it with a paintbrush, just huge stripes of color. And when the wind blows and you're biking by those, it smells like the air is just full of flowers, and it smells like the most beautiful thing I've ever smelled as far as weather is concerned in my life. And it's one of the most beautiful and versatile places I've ever been, that wasn't a third world country or something. You're right there, you're right in the city, but it's beautiful because of the architecture, but also because of the climate, and it's comfortable. It's fine. I would say if you were a sister missionary, just if you have long hair, put it on the top of your head and don't worry about it. But just enjoying the rain, because a lot of times you have the most fresh air that you can think of, and you feel really, really healthy while you're there just because of the climate. So I loved that about the Netherlands.